Have you ever wondered why there are so many different kinds of solar microinverters on the market and why the prices can be all over the place? So which solar microinverter is actually worth buying? That's what we're going to break down today. I'm Ryan, and this is Better Solar. The problem is simple. Most people who start shopping for solar never get clear information about microinverters. You'll hear a lot about panels, batteries, and financing. The microinverters are usually treated like an afterthought. The truth is, your choice in microinverter determines how flexible your system is and whether you get power during an outage, as well as how much you pay upfront. Let me walk you through the 4 major players that are actually worth looking at right now. These are the names you'll see come up again and again in this year: Enphase, Hoymiles, AP Systems, and Sungrow. Let's start with the biggest and most famous one, Enphase. The Enphase IQ8 series of microinverters is one of the only grid-forming microinverters available today. That means it can actually run essential circuits in your home during a power outage, even without having a battery system. Enphase calls it sunlight backup. Now, there's a catch, of course. You only get power when the sun is shining, so there's no nighttime backup and no running your entire house. And installing Enphase IQ8 microinverters isn't cheap. Some people report spending an extra $7,000 just to get the feature wired in. But Enphase does have a huge advantage. The warranty is 25 years, and the tech is some of the best microinverters out there right now. Prices for the IQ8 units run around $160 to $240 each, depending on the specific model you're getting. The next competitor to Enphase is called Hoymiles. These guys have made a name for themselves by doing something different. Instead of one microinverter for each panel, they make a 2-in-1 and even a 4-in-1 microinverter model. That means one box can run 4 solar panels. The upside is there's fewer inverters to mount and fewer connections, which lowers the total cost per panel. Their HMS 2004T, which handles 4 panels, sells for about $365. They also have a single panel unit, which is around $150 to $200. Hoymiles supports independent MPPT on each panel, which means that the shading or mismatch of panels doesn't kill your output performance. They comply with US rapid shutdown rules, so they are code compliant. The next competitor is AP Systems. This company also offers multi-panel microinverters similar to Hoymiles, but with a stronger presence here in North America. Their DS3 series can run 2 panels and outputs up to 880 watts AC. Prices are usually around $200 to $250. That makes them a solid mid-range choice with good efficiency, panel-level monitoring, and less hardware than 1 inverter per panel. The trade-off is they don't have the same level of integration or ecosystem as Enphase. You don't get backup power when the sun is shining if the grid is off. The last one to mention is Sungrow. Their S800S dual microinverter is designed to connect 2 panels with a total output of around 800 watts AC. Each panel also has its own MPPT channel, so if one panel is shaded, the other panel can still produce at its best output. The voltage range is wide enough for today's larger panels, and the unit has an IP67 weather rating, so it's built for harsh rooftop conditions. Cost-wise, the S800S generally comes in lower per panel than a 1-to-1 microinverter setup because, like with these others, you're sharing 1 inverter across 2 modules. The trade-off is that Sungrow doesn't currently offer a sunlight backup style feature like Enphase, so if backup power is a top priority, this won't cover it. Here's the real question: what's the value for you? If you want the absolute best technology, plus the possibility of limited daytime backup without buying a battery, Enphase IQ8 is unmatched. But it comes with a high cost and more electrical work. If you want to minimize the number of boxes on your roof and keep your costs down, Hoymiles is a very efficient choice, especially their 4-in-1 units. If you want something in between the best and most recent tech, AP Systems and Sungrow are decent options as well. Remember, microinverters aren't just a small part of your system. They determine how flexible your array is, how much you pay per panel, and whether you have backup power at all when the grid goes down. Don't let your installer gloss over this decision. Take a look at the costs, the features, and the warranty, because you'll be living with this hardware for decades. So now I want to hear from you. Which of these options sound best for your roof? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. And if you found this breakdown helpful, check out my next video where I explain why solar installations are so expensive.